Before we get to your scheduled video, please remember that likes and comments tell YouTube to promote our work to other people, and subscribing to the channel tells you when something new drops. You can also head to the link tree in the description to peruse my books, join us on Discord, or support us on Patreon. You can get episodes of Journey of Wrestling and Violent Profiles early, as well as a load of other treats. Even just $1 a month earns you a name drop for being cool. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Greetings and salutations, fellow geriatrics. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast, and this week we are talking about 90s TV shows, sitcoms specifically. Not all of them definitely. Not even all of the best ones definitely. There's sort of a dearth of those tier lists, and I didn't want to make one.
Yeah, see, a little behind the scenes tip for the Two Nerds tier list. We don't make these. We just kind of go with what we can find. We scavenge, and this was the carcass with the most meat on it. So yeah. We're doing this one.
Yup. Before we get into that, we do need to talk about who's cool, because we appreciate everyone who's cool. That's what going to be. Harmony, mm-hmm. Passion Killer, mm-hmm. A guy from Ohio. Mm-hmm. Distrucity KTL. That is correct.
Rob.
Uh-huh.
And I believe on the tip of your tongue.
Not anymore.
Oh, well.
No, I'm kidding. He's still there. We really appreciate you. It was just a funny bit. It's a funny bit. Thank you guys so much for contributing to me having money for life. It's appreciated. I'm not sick anymore, really, but, like, close enough, right? I also spent the day playing Super Mario Wonder with my mom, so you know how that game is. It's kind of like I've had a drugs or two. He nodded sagely.
I did. There wasn't a verbal thing. What's,
I'm looking at this list as we're doing this, and I'm really glad that the first... Oh, no, that's Third Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the name of the show was Galaxy Burger. And I'm like, I have never heard of Galaxy Burger. I am intrigued, but I have never heard of Galaxy Burger.
Bet you haven't heard of it because it's not real.
Third Rock from the Sun, I'd say maybe A tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say it's a real solid one. Yeah. It formed a lot of the substrate of a lot of my humor around that age.
Yeah, same. It's really good.
I have, as an adult, done the salute to someone. So that implies staying power.
I'm sure I quote it more than I realize.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Next up is Different World. I probably caught a couple episodes of this, but I didn't really watch it.
Same, really. I'm sure I've seen it, but I didn't watch it.
I might have enjoyed it. I don't know. For whatever reason, it wasn't in my wheelhouse. I think a lot of the shows that were like on a network I didn't watch. I don't know what this is.
Open it in a new window and see if it has a name. Blossom.
Oh, is that Blossom?
That's Blossom.
Wow. None of those people look like who they are.
Yep, that's Blossom.
That's fascinating. Yeah, Blossom.
I literally only know Blossom as a meme, the word whoa, and an episode about her period, I think.
I was really young. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt and say B tier.
I mean, look, I think maybe I've seen half of an episode of Blossom.
We're gonna give Blossom... It's been a long, long time. I would say possibly more than 30 years. So I'm gonna say B tier. I might be wrong. It might be C tier. Boy Meets World.
Now we have Patreon patrons who might
these
gut
in
us.
Alphabetical order? You lovely soul.
Yeah, I think they actually
That's
are.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, nice. But I think we have Patreon patrons who might gut us if we rate Boy Meets World too low. But
I really liked it at the time. I don't know if I could watch it again today.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it has the ability to come back to it.
I've seen bits from it that are still funny.
I think Mr. Feeney is probably eternal, though, so I wouldn't want to put it below B tier.
No, I think let's put it above Blossom.
Yeah.
Coach.
You love fucking Coach, man. I'm not gonna steal your joy. You put Coach where Coach needs to go. I got a couple good episodes of Coach. I like Dauber.
I like the whole cast, really. Craig T. Nelson is sensational as Coach, the coach from Coach.
But, like, it was never my jam, but I know your love for Coach. So I'm not going to...
I think I'm going to put it below Boy Meets World.
That's fair.
But above Blossom. Designing Women.
Never seen an episode, never looked interesting. I mean, obviously, it's not really... I wasn't really in the demo for it.
I probably caught a dozen episodes or so. I remember it being okay. Like the Diet Coke of Golden Girls, basically. Younger, obviously, but... I'm going to say C tier.
Okay, I got no problem with that.
All right. Dharma and Greg.
This show gets a lot of like people shitting on it, but I had fun watching Dharma and Greg.
I like Dharma and Greg too.
I know that guy is hotch now.
Right.
He's been subsumed. But this was a fun show. It was a little goofy, a little silly. I don't imagine it's aged super well.
Probably not.
But I would say solid, maybe low B, maybe high C, just sort of depending on how tough the competition is.
Yeah, we can always move it later. Doogie Howser.
I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. I love... that was so funny.
I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. Doogie Howser sucks.
I love Neil Patrick Harris as an actor. I love him in other later sitcoms. I think he's very funny. This show sucked.
So I remember it being really dry and boring.
Yes, that's the same.
I was also really young at the time, so maybe I'm wrong. However, I only have our experiences to rate these on, so I'm going to say, like, D.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't F tier.
No.
Because it introduced the world to Neil Patrick Harris and apparently Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, they both debuted on that show. He was Doogie's friend.
Yeah,
the horny one.
That's not appropriate, given that. No.
Oh, okay. Ellen.
I don't remember fucking anything about this show. Man.
I remember I watched it a lot, but other than when she came out of the closet,
I watched Ellen the sitcom.
Yeah.
I remember nothing from Ellen the sitcom.
I really don't either. I'm going to say it was probably better than Designing Women.
Like, Ellen is a talk show host.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Are you all right with it being there?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, like, I can't remember.
I remember enjoying it when I watched it.
Then you remember more than me.
Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm going to say F tier. I hate that show.
I know you hate that show, and I'm not going to fight too hard for it. I do not, in fact, love Raymond.
I don't like Raymond. I don't like Raymond's wife.
Raymond's brother is amazing.
He's cool.
Raymond's wife's actress is cool, I think.
Well, Raymond as a comedian, I like his stand-up.
But like the character of Raymond's wife is a harridan. She has no redeeming features.
The parents aren't great either. I mean, they've got some good lines.
They're good characters, but they're not good people. But his brother is great, and I would say Everybody Loves Raymond is like the Uru metal mold from which so many other sitcoms are forged. But wait a minute, I don't like any of them. Yeah, no, F where it belonged. I was gonna fight for it on, like, iconic power, but no, I don't like... I think The King of Queens might be the only sitcom in the Raymond mold that I don't think is fucking insufferable.
Yeah, it's usually fine.
So never mind.
Family Matters, I would maybe say above Doogie.
Family Matters, look, I know Urkel sucks, but, like, the rest of that show is really good.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I remember the rest. I really liked the dad from Die Hard.
Crocodile Dundee.
It's the same fucking character. But Family Matters, I liked the rest of the characters in that show. That show suffered because of how Urkelized it became.
I feel like it was really... Like, I liked it when I was a kid, but I think I tried to watch it when it finally came to Nick at Night, and it just didn't hit for me anymore.
Hey, man, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so it might not...
okay, so let's meet in the middle here. Where would you put it natively?
One rule. Above Full House.
Okay.
Wherever we put it, Full House has to go below it because it's better than Full House.
don't know that that's true. I feel like they're two sides of the same coin, but I'm willing to accept this. Where would you, without my input, put the show?
I would put Family Matters probably very, like, C.
See?
To me, it is default.
We remember it more than Ellen, so that's got to be something for it. Frasier.
Frasier's S tier. I don't think there's any...
You think so?
I don't think there's any debate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would have said maybe A tier.
Nah, Frasier's S tier.
Okay.
Frasier's one of the... Frasier is so damn fun as a show.
Okay.
And it's not...
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
It's not over the top. It's not ridiculously cartoony until maybe some of the later seasons.
It's been a really long time since I've sat down and watched Frasier, so I might be missing, like, memories of some of my favorite parts. You know what I mean?
The last straw is going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
That is fair. Friends is just going to put it right there.
Yeah, Friends is S tier. Look, it just is. I don't really love the later seasons all that much.
No, and I think I never need to watch it all again.
No. But, like, putting it anywhere else is doing a disservice to the idea of a tier list.
All right, Full House is here now. You have decreed it should go below Family Matters.
Yes, Full House is better than Full House is worse than Family Matters. This is just true.
I guess they're just so... I really stand by my previous statement. They're two sides of the same coin to me. One is overly saccharine while the other one's overly wacky, but, like, it's really similar vibes.
I guess I have higher tolerance for wacky than saccharine.
And I might just remember it more fondly because it was...
Well, then let's put them next to each other. As the two sides of the same coin.
Sounds good to me. I have no problem putting it below. I'm fine with that estimation. Growing Pains.
That was the one with Michael J. Fox?
No, you're thinking of... Oh, man. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Growing Pains was the one with Religious Man.
Make the picture bigger. I'll remember.
I mean, it's not going to get much bigger. That guy, Religious Man.
Oh, Kirk Cameron.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
and
I do.
Critical Role.
You know what? It gets extra points for Ashley Critical Role.
I was going to say above Doogie. I didn't really care for
Growing
It was kind of dry.
I do actually get it and the one with Michael J. Fox confused.
I'm trying to remember the name of that. Family Ties.
Yeah.
Was the one with Michael J. Fox. That, I guess, was more 80s, or they just didn't care.
Nah, more 80s. He was like, big by the 90s.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. Big,
Back to the Future.
Size-wise as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I would barrack for this being in low B.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel that way about Mr.
Absolutely
Cooper?
no desire to fight it.
All right. Okay. He had charisma. It was fun. Wasn't great.
Man.
Home Improvement, man. I think at least A tier, right?
Yeah, I don't think it crosses the line into S tier. Just because, just putting aside, because there's a bunch of other people on this list who don't age super well. Putting aside any controversy with the main character's actor, the show itself doesn't cross into S tier, but it's got enough really timeless bits and stuff that I still think about.
Yeah, same.
That A tier really is where it's at home.
Do you think it's better than Third Rock?
God, no.
Okay. I'm gonna let you have that one.
French Stewart beats Al Borland. Sorry.
In Living Color. I don't think I've seen a couple.
It's more like a sketch show, isn't it?
I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't think that's a sitcom really. Let's just not rate it. Keenan and Kel.
Okay, yeah, sure, fuck it. I don't think we've ever done that before.
I make a whole new category for this is a sketch show just within Living Color there. It's down here, kids. This is the category.
Keenan and Kel. All right, so this is a combination of a sketch show and a sitcom.
No, it was pretty much just a sitcom.
Really? Did they not do a bunch of like all that bits in it?
No.
I guess maybe
They
not.
worked at like a convenience store and
Yeah. It was very goofy.
Oh yeah, it was a Nickelodeon show.
It was. I mean, I liked it. I don't think it holds up to the higher tiers just because it was... That's a kiddie pool, man. There's not a lot of water to swim in. But what it did well.
Do you think it's better than Family Matters?
I think I had more fun watching Kenan and Kel than Family Matters.
Okay.
The heartfelt moments weren't there.
Do you think it's better than Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
That's your call. I didn't watch a lot of Hanging.
All right. Do you think it's better than Dharma and Greg?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, better than Blossom by being memorable. I'm not putting it above Coach.
There you go.
So there you go, Kenan and Kel. I don't know what this is.
It looks like Donald Face On, but it can't be.
Oh,
man, this is just that we didn't watch BET, isn't it?
I don't even know if that was a thing at that point. Man, I almost know this show, but I really don't.
Yeah, no, sorry, I got nothing.
Yeah,
it's going to have to go on Didn't Watch It.
Yeah.
There's no name.
A name would have really helped. Even a file name would have really helped. Because I think that one's Martin, isn't it?
Well, we'll know if Martin Lawrence is in the screenshot.
I guess. Mad About You. I liked Mad About You. It was like Seinfeld without the Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Wow, I kind of want to watch a show where Seinfeld is edited out of all scenes, but the rest of the characters remain. Like Garfield without Garfield.
I think it would be less ominous than Garfield without Garfield, but I think it would be just as unhinged.
I would say at least B tier.
I found Mad About You dry.
Really?
But I was a little kid.
I was a little older when I was watching this.
So I would say go with your rating over mine. I found it dry, but that's because I was very little and there weren't a lot of people I found relatable. I guess Helen Hunt's character was pretty nice.
I'm surprised you didn't vibe with Paul Reiser, but
at the time I did not. Now I probably would.
All right. I would maybe say top of B. Do you think
Sure.
that's okay?
Yeah, like I said, man, I think I was legitimately too young for this show when I was watching it.
Sure. And that says Martin right there.
Yeah, that's Martin.
Well, did that say? Oh, it's Living Single.
Oh, yeah, no, I just didn't watch Living Single. I just legitimately did not watch Living Single.
I also didn't watch Living Single. Cool. All right, we figured that one out. You guys don't have to let us know in the comments, but you could comment about your favorite 90s TV show because that drives the algorithm, and that's how other people see this video. So Martin. I also didn't really watch Martin. I've seen maybe 3 episodes.
I think I've also seen that many episodes of Martin. Based on our aggregate 6 episodes, didn't watch it.
Moesha. I saw less Moesha.
Same.
I saw a lot of ads for Moesha.
It looks like a fun show.
Yeah, it just wasn't... I don't know if like a lot of this stuff was on Fox or CBS or something I wasn't watching.
Well, a lot of these were on like secondary networks, or they had bad time slots.
Sure. I watched a lot of ABC, NBC when I was young, and I watched a lot of like reruns. So like if I was watching, Home Improvement on syndication on Fox, I might catch ads for something that was showing on Fox. But like, especially if it was a Sunday night show, after The Simpsons, I was done with the TV. I don't know about you people living in the today, but back when I was young, we only had the one TV. So it was a battle for who was in control of the TV.
I mean, if I'm being real, a lot of these shows I watch not because of myself.
Right, yeah.
These were other people in the household shows that they wanted to watch, and I was there also.
And I would often leave the TV like on when I did finally have my own TV and catch a lot of stuff like this, but I certainly wasn't sitting down to watch Murphy Brown on purpose. I saw that a lot later on Nick at Night. It was okay. Better than Doogie? Do you have an opinion?
I have never seen an episode of Murphy Brown. It was actually a joke. In my life, I would use Murphy Brown as a joke for boring fucking show I don't want to watch.
It was pretty dry. News radio. That's a controversial one.
Really?
A lot of people really think it's absolute genius. There's a lot of stuff I really liked from it. I was a fan while it was on the air. But it also had Andy Dick in it.
Oh, well, hey. There's a lot of people on this chart who...
Right, but you did have to deal with Andy Dick while he was there.
That's fair.
Honestly, I'd say it's probably the bottom of A.
I mean... What little I've seen of it was really funny.
Yeah. All right, I don't recognize this one either.
By the way, I did...
Parenthood. I've not seen
I did actually look it up. In Living Color is listed as a sketch comedy show. I don't know why it's on this list.
Yeah, that's very strange. Well, yeah, no, because that had Jim Carrey and...
Yeah, no, I thought I was... I wanted to make sure I wasn't misremembering.
I've already forgotten what this was.
Parenthood.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Didn't watch a single episode.
Roseanne.
S tier?
Where?
It's gotta... Look, Friends is the king. We're not unseating the king.
All right.
I like Frasier, but I feel more Roseanne.
I understand that. I have never been a rich psychiatrist living in Seattle. I have been poor white trash in the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, that's about the long and short of it. Growing up, Roseanne was the kind of family that actually existed.
Yes.
They were real. The Connors were my people.
And watching it again, because my girlfriend and I are in the middle of a rewatch. She's never seen it, and I'm rewatching it for, I don't know, the fifth or sixth time. Man, I didn't realize this show probably spoiled me. Because its adherence to continuity, its ability to foreshadow is incredible. And that's something I really value in media.
A lot of even Friends doesn't do as good a job of making sure that lessons learned remain learned and characters develop forward as opposed to backward.
Well, even stuff like, Roseanne's been slowly going unhinged. Partially due to Flanderization, I'm sure, but there is stuff in her life that are stressors that are making her act less and less responsible, and it's consistent. And the show addresses it and calls her a bitch for it.
I mean, the show goes crazy later.
Oh yeah, last season's nuts.
But while it's good, it's peak, man. It really is.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I loved this show.
I had a lot of fun with it, too.
Look, notwithstanding, partially this was due to a childhood crush on Melissa Joan Hart. I'm not going to lie. That was part of it.
If you didn't have a childhood crush on Melissa Joan Hart, you are not into girls.
Or you weren't watching this in that time frame.
No, you had the crush. You just didn't know.
You would if you had seen.
Yeah.
But this show is fun. Salem is great.
Yeah.
Salem is an all-time fiction character.
I like his voice actor a lot. The Aunts. I had a crush on one of the Aunts. I can't remember which
yeah,
one,
man, same. I think it was probably the same one, too.
The same one.
My man.
I would say A tier, but I don't know how high. I don't even know if it's as good as News Radio, I'll be honest with you.
Let's put it in A tier at the bottom and then reevaluate when we're done.
All right. What is this? Head of the Class? No. Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. All right. Hot take. This show blows.
I don't hate it, so I'm going to put it at the bottom of D tier.
That's you. I'm not going to fight you.
It's not funny. It's not interesting. I never cared about the characters.
It has a banger theme song.
Yeah.
And every other part of this show is bad.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. The GOAT itself, Seinfeld. I don't actually think it's the greatest of all time, but it's generally regarded as
the only reason that Seinfeld is not the top of S tier is because Friends took a similar concept and did it better.
Hey, Friends is more fun.
That's why it's better.
Where would you put it?
If we put Seinfeld somewhere that isn't S tier, I feel like so is this
where would you put it in S tier?
Oh shit.
It's better than Third Rock from the Sun. It can be an S tier.
That's harsh, man. I don't honestly know. I wouldn't personally put it above Roseanne because Roseanne has more of my heart.
Right.
But it probably belongs above Frasier.
All right, I'm willing to accept that. This one is Sister, right?
Yep, Sister was fun. It wasn't good.
No.
Even at the time, I knew it wasn't good.
Do you think it's better than Family Matters?
Probably, but I don't feel that way. I'm aware it was probably technically better than Family Matters, but I have more fond memories of Family Matters.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put Sister above Ellen that we remember watching it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of the plots.
No.
But I never watched the Taj Mowry show. whatever it was called.
I can't recall ever having seen an episode.
Wow, there's a lot of text on here. Let's find out what this is. Spin City. Whoa! I forgot about Spin City.
Spin City was real good.
Holy crap.
This was what Michael J. Fox was doing in the 90s.
Yeah, wow. I don't remember shit about this show.
I remember it was like a fun sitcom,
Yeah.
but it could get like surprisingly serious.
I think above Coach, but after that, I don't know where. Like, it might be in A tier, might be in S tier, but at least above Coach. What are your thoughts?
I think bottom of A tier.
Bottom of A tier?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe I completely forgot about it. Step by Step.
Now, to me, Step by Step is like a Kmart Full House.
I thought it was better at the time, but I don't know looking back that it would be as enjoyable.
I've seen like a fair amount of it, weirdly. But to me, it was Kmart Full House.
Well, what are your thoughts? Where would you place it?
I mean, like, either low C or high D. I do not think the show is very good.
You know, I'm going to say it was probably better than Murphy Brown. All right, this is... Oh, Steve Harvey just had a show.
Yeah, the Steve Harvey Show.
You can't see my face deadpanning at the camera. Da, 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 da. Please don't copyright claim me, guy who made that song. Is a spoiler for like a week from now. There's a video coming out that I got copyright claimed on because there's a little bit of that song in there, and he didn't do anything about it. He was just like, "That's mine."
Just so you're knowing.
Just so everyone's aware. So okay, you apparently have seen the Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh, okay. Well, where would you put it?
D.
D.
Maybe not F. That's mean.
Where-
But like low D.
Better than Doogie,
At least, yeah, not boring.
so better than Murphy Brown.
Yeah.
That 70s show. Here's another controversial one. A lot of people really love this show, and I remember being into it for about 2 seasons. But
Man.
I stopped caring.
I remember being really into this show while I was into it, and I remember having enough fond memories of this show to watch the sequel, that 80s show or whatever.
That 80s show had Kyler Lay as an awesome goth punk lady.
No,
and there's
not
other
that
reason.
one then. 90s, I guess. The one where they actually came back and it was like Eric and Donna's kid. It was recent.
Oh, yeah, recent. No, that 80s show came out in
That
the
80s
2000s.
show was different. Also, weird.
It wasn't very good, but I don't care.
Well, much in the same way, Donna was another childhood crush.
Okay.
Not Jackie. I recognize that's the more common one. But I remember being really into this show, but I don't think it would hold up if I went back to it.
I mean, I think out of all of the dark clouds that are hanging over cast members on TV shows, that one
Hyde
might
is
be
probably-
the most pendulous.
Yeah, Hyde is rough. Especially because Hyde was objectively my favorite character on that show.
Yeah.
Hyde ruled, and his actor is just a monster person.
Yeah. It's not even like we have different opinions. It's just, wow.
Wow, you're just a demon in human skin. Okay.
But all that being said, like, I don't... At the time, I stopped watching it because I stopped giving a shit. And I was...
Yeah, this show lost me on its own merits well before it wanted to lose
Well
me.
before Eric even left.
Yeah, which is hilarious. Like, you gotta end the show at that point, guys. Come on. But I would say C, because
C?
when it was hitting, it was that good shit.
Better than Family Matters?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. It did have some really smart jokes and some decent storytelling.
Red Foreman was in it.
Yeah. And
Kitty Foreman.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, I know, bud.
The Drew Carey Show. Here's one that I watched almost religiously when I was younger and then stopped.
Hey, same!
Like, I was thinking about Buzz Beer the other day, but like, And every now and then the Rocky Horror versus Priscilla Queen of the Desert fight comes to mind. Sometimes the fart sketch when Drew was doing the office safety video. Like little things. Or the one time Ryan Stiles got tits.
Craig Ferguson as the boss guy.
And Drew Carey wanted to be lucky enough to have bleeding ulcers. Like his boss because he was sucking up to him.
Ah, man. You know what? There's one joke that will stick with me until I am dead from this show.
Okay.
Which is something good happens to Drew. I do not remember what it is. And he holds his hands up above his head and goes, yes! And hurts his arms because he's so unused to celebrating good things happening in his life that he has to, without holding his arms up, go, yes! Smaller. And it was murderous. I believe I had to, leave the room.
I am going to suggest between Home Improvement and News Radio.
That seems like the right place for it.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Part your mind from recent dark clouds.
Hey, look, he's not fucking high.
No,
okay?
yeah, it's fine. Man, it's got to be an S tier. I'm gonna say bottom of S tier, but I think it's got to be an S tier.
I think, that's just fact. Anything that gets the "You Made Me Cry" award, especially when I was younger. Before the empathy gland grew in, gets extra points.
It's great. There's some episodes that are kind of crap.
I mean, that's in a show that ran that long.
Sure.
Yeah,
you're gonna have that. Now, you don't have that as much in the ones above it, but those are exceptions to the rule.
That's why they are where they are.
Well, I don't know what this one is. The Hughleys. Whoa, I forgot about
with D.L. Hughley.
Yeah, wow.
I've seen some episodes of this show, but I have no memory of this.
I might have seen some of it, but I don't remember it either.
Me like Gandalf and Moria, man. I have no memory of this place.
Jamie Foxx show, I didn't watch that.
That's pretty much right there with the Hugleys, in that I have definitely seen it, and I definitely do not
feel
have
like
anything.
these were later in the 90s.
I feel like I just wasn't watching a lot of sitcoms at that point.
Yeah. The Nanny. Okay. Those two weirdly had a very similar image. The Nanny was okay.
The Nanny, I don't remember. I remember disliking it, but that was a heel getting over on me.
Yeah.
That I disliked that because of the character they wanted me to dislike. They did a good job. I just didn't want to watch it.
I would say above Family Matters.
That's your business.
Is that...
I remember disliking it, but like I said, that's only because Fran Drescher's character was designed to be fucking annoying, and they did a great job.
I feel like it was a smarter show than either Family Matters or Full House, and more
probably
mature in that sense. It was fine, and I like Fran Drescher as an actress too.
It's rare you get a heel in a sitcom.
The Wayans Brothers. I did not watch this show.
I remember the show being fun.
Okay. It's on you, man.
It's weirdly more subdued than you would expect, given their later work. But I remember the show being a fun show, but nothing stand out. So somewhere in C tier. We can't split up the Family Matters Full House, bracket. So I'd say either above or below them. I'm neutral on either.
Okay. We'll give the Wayans Brothers a bump here. I'll put them above The Nanny for that matter.
There you go.
The last show on this list is Wings.
And this may be the first divisive one between you and I. How do you feel about Wings?
I think it's a really good show.
I do not like Wings at all.
Why?
Real talk? Because it was on very early where I lived.
Okay.
And I only ever saw it when I had to get up for school and was thus in a bad fucking mood.
Okay, because Wings waterboarded you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when I was up very late because I couldn't sleep and I was in a bad fucking mood.
I don't think it was incredible or groundbreaking. I love a lot of the actors from it.
I don't think Wings, me very much disliking Wings, is Wings' fault.
I would agree with that. I would put it in B tier. I would put it above Blossom, but in deference to your preference, I will put it below Keenan and Kel.
Well, thank you.
Does that sound fair?
That's fair.
We had a bunch of these lists up. As I said earlier, none of them were perfect. I'm just going to jump over here and look at a couple of these.
To see if there's anything that we didn't catch.
Pete and Pete, interesting choice for a sitcom. I would put that in A tier somewhere.
Yeah.
Will and Grace.
F. I hate Will and Grace.
I'd argue for D for Megan Mullally.
I'd be willing to make that concession, but it would
Both
be
in the sense that, but also she just had a really good character. Who was really
look,
funny.
I'd be willing to make that concession, but it would be a concession. I hate that show.
I don't know. Oh, it's Living Single again. Dinosaurs. Weird show.
It gets a letter grade bump just for the finale.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
for the sheer fucking brass ones of then the apocalypse happened and they all died.
I would say maybe around B. Two Guys, a Girl at a Pizza Place, or just Two Guys and a Girl if you're looking at the later seasons. I remember very little of this show, except this was literally my first exposure to Ryan Reynolds.
It was everyone's first exposure to Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds rules.
So yeah, it probably would have gotten at least a C, if not higher.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks is A, maybe S.
I should, right?
Yes,
I probably
you
should.
might be too old for it at this point, but yes, you should.
I should at least give it a shot. King of Queens, at least A, I think.
It is the only one of the schlubby husband who's a fucking moron, Harridan insufferable wife genre of sitcoms that doesn't make me want to stab someone to death.
It's uplifted violently by Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, and
And-
Kevin James actually being
He is charming. Yeah.
charming as opposed to Homer Simpson.
And wife
but, like,
character
not
whose
funny.
name I can't remember in real life.
Leia Remini,
Yes, she escaped the Scientology, so...
and she gets a letter grade upgrade for that.
King of the Hills, S tier.
S tier, maybe somewhere in the top of S tier. I would
Very
put it
close to the
I
top.
would put it above Seinfeld at minimum.
There was one other... Oh, The Simpsons. It started in the late 80s, but
Yeah.
so did Roseanne.
And yeah, if we're putting The Simpsons on there again, it goes on S tier.
S tier.
Especially 90s Simpsons.
Yeah.
It goes real high in S tier.
I suppose that's why it wouldn't be on this list, because it's still on.
Yeah, it's not a 90s sitcom because
It
it's
is.
still fucking going.
But there is a final look at everything. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My counterpart, the boy, do you have any nuggets of wisdom to drop upon the viewer?
Wash your hands.